Like, subscribe and comment to win one of the 3 copies of Dragon's Dogma 2 in the Gaming Analytics giveaway. The next video in the Confirmed Skills series is for the Advanced Warrior Vocation. There's really no need for a lengthy intro, as by now you already know what to expect. So with that, it's time to uncork your inner dork and let's get nerdy. First off, we will be looking at the core warrior skills, of which we have seen 7 in action, and all of which are new to the series aggro-pulling close combat Chadinator. These are Mighty Sweep, Stone Splitter, Barge, Bulwark, Breakneck Strike, Chain of Blows, and Repulse. Mighty Sweep is up first, and this is the warrior's light attack, sweeping its greatsword or great hammer in a horizontal arc. And if you are holding down the activation button, this attack turns into a charge slash, making your warrior much less likely to flinch during the animation. The second warrior core skill is its heavy attack in Stone Splitter, which with you perform a mighty downward slash, followed with a powerful successful strike if in the case the first blow connects, and the foe has been knocked off balance. The third of the core skills is Barge, which is a vocation action, with your Arisen rushing forward, tackling the target. Though limited in range, it can force the target to flinch, whilst at the same time resulting in your warrior being less likely to flinch during the skill's activation. The fourth warrior core skill is Bulwark, which diminishes the damage received from adversaries when executing a charged attack. Next up is Breakneck Strike, which elevates the potency of charged attacks by delivering it at the precise moment it reaches full charge, dealing increased damage. The sixth core warrior skill is Chain of Blows, which utilizes the user's momentum to release an extra mighty sweep, capitalizing on the kinetic energy generated. Last but not least for the warrior core skills is Repulse, which counters a hostile target's assault by executing a charged attack capable of disrupting the target's balance, providing a defensive advantage. Within the Dragon's Dogma 2 footage and reveals, we've seen a total of 13 warrior weapon skills so far, one which is returning from Dragon's Dogma 1 and remains mostly unchanged, whereas a further 12 skills have been revealed that are new to the franchise, although some comparisons can be made to the skills from the first game. Savage Lash is the first and only returning warrior weapon skill, and it is described as channeling the user's strength into a devastating hit that grows in power the longer it is charged. In DD1, Savage Lash could be upgraded to Indomitable Lash, and then further enhanced within Dark Arisen to Calamitous Lash, with a suitable Warrior's Ring or Warrior's Band equipped. Properly timed blows from these upgraded versions would result in flying shrapnel and a devastating shockwave that inflicts additional damage and staggers or knocks down all enemies not directly struck by the blow. However, Indomitable Lash and Calamitous Lash have not yet been confirmed to feature in DD2, but there is an argument to be made that at least one of these skills will feature as the upgraded version to Savage Lash. Next up is the warrior skill Skyward Sunder, with which you jump up and deliver slashes skyward simultaneously, swinging the blade in mid-air. This attack can also be charged prior to unleashing it. The upgraded version of Skyward Sunder is Heavenward Sunder, further increasing the damage dealt when fully charged. Skyward Sunder and Heavenward Sunder appear to be the replacement skills for Upward Strike and Whirlwind Slash from Dragon's Dogma 1, and deal a healthy amount of knockdown when landing. Traditionally, knockdown enemies take double damage, whereas smaller knockdown creatures can be grappled, which greatly increases the damage dealt. Rending Sweep is up next, and it is described as whirling the blade with formidable force, cleaving through adversaries in every direction, and it can also be charged before execution. We also know at this moment in time that Raising Sweep will be the upgraded version of Rending Sweep, and these appear to be the replacement skills of Spark Slash and Corona Slash from DD1, which had great knockdown properties affecting all that come in contact with it. Next up is Bellow, with which your Arisen utters a command shouting to attract the attention of hostile targets. This will be the replacement of Warcry from the original game, and as described, in essence pulls aggro onto the warrior for a short duration, allowing the rest of your team to attack the distracted foes. The next warrior weapon skill is Goring Attack, with which the Arisen or your pawn charges forward, impaling targets with the blade. Pressing the activation button again delivers a forward stab, with which the warrior utilizes the momentum generated, piercing enemies and slamming them into walls, which intensifies the impact. As described, Goring Lunge will be extremely useful against packs of stationary grouped enemies and downed giant monsters, however may not be effective against creatures with high physical defenses. The next warrior weapon skill is Ladder Launch, which enables the user to plant their feet and launch an ally into the air from their shoulders. Obviously, this is great for when trying to weigh down a hovering flying creature such as a griffin with your pawns. And pawns are also likely to use Ladder Launch in an attempt to aid the Arisen in the presence of large creatures, including Cyclopses, Ogres, and so on. And in addition, pawns are also likely to use in-air heavy core attacks if they are unable to grab onto something mid-air. Next up is Surging Strike, with which your warrior leaps skyward and descends with a blade, utilizing the full weight of the user for devastating strikes. This deals additional blows to smaller flinching targets, and is executable while airborne, with increased potency from higher elevations. The next warrior skill is Revivify, which bestows the user with a renewed vigor, alleviating some debilitations such as being caught in fire, the frozen sleep silence, and unconscious status effects. Moving on to Skyward Lash, which channels the user's strength into a devastating hit that grows in power the longer it is charged. Null Breaker is then the next warrior skill, with which your warrior elevates the blade with a forceful thrust, delivering a robust blow capable of destabilizing targets or rendering them unconscious. Null Breaker can also be charged up to a maximum prior to releasing it for attack. Next up is the warrior core skill Gale Slash, which harnesses the blade's momentum to execute a sequence of impactful strikes. The swings gain speed with precise timing, culminating in a potent slash when the button is released at maximum velocity. Last but not least for the warrior weapon skills is Tidal Fury, which administers a formidable counterattack if the user is struck at the point of activation. Now, this counterattack can withstand incoming strikes from targets, even if the counterattack itself is unsuccessful. In addition to the 22 weapon and warrior core skills we have discussed, we also know of 5 warrior augments that will be coming to Dragon's Dogma 2 on release day, being Vitality, Impact, Pertinency, Dominance, and Intrepidity. Vitality is up first, and it can be simply described as increasing your maximum health. Impact improves the ability to push and pull targets when grabbing hold, whereas Pertinency improves your ability to break through an opponent's guard. Dominance, on the other hand, augments your knockdown power. And finally, Intrepidity reduces the accumulation of the loss gauge when receiving damage. As always, thank you so much for watching. Before you go, remember to leave me a like, subscribe, and comment down below if you want to win one of the 3 copies of Dragon's Dogma 2 in the Gaming Analytics giveaway. But if you do or you don't, do me one favor: stay nerdy.